There's a peculiar little machine sitting deep in Audi's heritage vault that almost no one got to see, let alone understand. It isn't an RS4, an RS6, or even one of those fire-breathing Quattro S1 monsters from the Group E era. No, this was something even more extreme. It was Audi's secret experiment with a mid-engine layout, all-wheel drive, and rallying engineering. This is the RS002. It never entered a race, it never faced off against Lancia or Peugeot, it didn't even make it to homologation, and yet it might have been the most forward-thinking rally car Audi ever built. So let's unpack the strange, secretive tale of the RS002, a car born from frustration, nurtured in secrecy, and ultimately buried by tragedy and politics. Now Audi's foray into rallying began triumphantly with the introduction of the original Audi Quattro. In this before, where others spun their wheels, the Quattro clawed forward, hauling itself through gravel, snow and mud like a steroidal mountain goat. But as the years went on, and as Group B regulations encouraged manufacturers to push deeper into the realm of the absurd, the Quattro's layout began to show its limitations. With its longitudinal front engine setup, the Quattro had a clear weight bias toward the front axle. This made for excellent traction on loose surfaces, but it also made the car prone to understeer, especially in tight technical stages. Audi tried to fight back. The A1 and A2 evolutions brought incremental improvements in power, suspension, and handling. Then came the Sport Quattro, a short wheelbase version with more power and more grip. But still, understeer lingered. So did weight. Other manufacturers, Peugeot in particular, had taken the liberty of relocating their engines to the middle of the car, building more nimble machines like the 205 T16 that could pivot on a dime and rocket out of the corners. Audi, for all of its clever engineering, was now playing catch-up. That's when Roland Gumpert, head of Audi Sport at the time, proposed the unthinkable. You see, Gumpert believed the only way to fully unlock the Quattro system potential was to move the engine to the middle of the car. This would improve balance, eliminate nose heaviness, and transform the car's handling dynamics. He pitched the idea to Ferdinand Piëch, Audi's engineering boss, and the man whose fingerprints were on almost every significant VAG project of the era. Piëch, in typical fashion, appreciated the ambition, but refused. From a business perspective, his concerns made sense. Audi's front-engine Quattro platform was not only performing well enough in rallies, but was also making waves in the showroom. To homologate an all-new, mid-engined rally car would require a production run of at least 200 road legal examples, which meant a massive investment in tooling, safety certifications, and marketing. And it wasn't as if Audi had a Ferrari-sized budget for a mid-engine sports car lying around. So Piëch said no. Gumpert, however, wasn't ready to give up. Determined to prove the concept worked, Gumpert and a hand-picked team of engineers began working on the mid-engine car in total secrecy, using Audi's facilities after hours. They sourced a Sport Quattro chassis with its already shortened wheelbase and began re-engineering it. The changes were dramatic. For instance, the 2.1-litre turbocharged inline-5 engine was pulled from the nose and relocated behind the driver, ahead of the rear axle. Then a new space frame and subframe setup had to be fabricated to accommodate this layout. The car retained Audi's iconic Quattro all-wheel drive system, albeit now adapted to a completely different drivetrain orientation. They also added a modified fiberglass and Kevlar body that was shaped to disguise what lurked underneath. It still looked vaguely like a Sport Quattro, but every proportion had subtly shifted. Then testing began in Czechoslovakia. Far from prying eyes, the feedback was immediate and transformative. All the issues that plagued the front-heavy rally cars, understeer, weight transfer, instability at speed, were gone. Even Walter Röhrl, Audi's rally superstar, was brought in to test the prototype, and he reportedly fell in love with it instantly. But secrecy in motorsports rarely lasts. A spy photo of the prototype emerged in an Austrian magazine, and the cat was out of the bag. Peach was furious. He reportedly ordered the destruction of the prototype and even personally oversaw its disassembly. It was a brutal end to a promising project. But Gumpert, ever the mad genius, had one more trick up his sleeve. You see, as Group B began spiraling out of control with faster cars, looser rules, and increasing fatalities, the FIA looked to replace it with a new class, Group S, intended to limit power and improve safety. Group S would also allow manufacturers to develop more advanced, innovative prototypes, albeit with stricter performance caps and fewer road car homologation requirements. Gumpert and his team saw this as their chance. If a mid-engine car wouldn't fly in Group B, perhaps it would in Group S. Thus, the Audi RS002 was born. This was no longer a modified Sport Quattro. This was a clean sheet redesign, a car with a completely redesigned aerodynamic body that looked more like a Le Mans prototype racer than a rally car. It had a mid-mounted, heavily upgraded version of the 2.1-litre inline-5, now pushing upwards of 690 horsepower in qualifying trim. For weight, it had a curb weight of just 1,000 kilograms, thanks to extensive use of composite materials. And all of that added up to a projected top speed of 300 kilometers per hour or 186 miles per hour, which was outrageous, even by Group B standards. The RS002 was the logical culmination of everything Audi had learned. It was compact, brutal, lightweight, and blisteringly fast. And only 3 were ever built, and just one of them survives to this day. Why? Well, in 1986, following several high-profile accidents, the FIA abruptly cancelled Group B, effective at the end of the season. Group S was burned as well, before it even got off the ground. With that, the RS002 was left without a category. 2 of the 3 prototypes were quietly destroyed, and the lone survivor was shelved and mothballed by Audi, eventually finding its way into the company's museum, where it remained under wraps for decades. In 2016, Audi's Tradition division brought the RS002 back to life. It was restored, carefully inspected, and started again for the first time in years. Then, in a rare public appearance, it was driven at the Goodwood Festival of Speed, where enthusiasts got their first real glimpse of this mythical car in motion. The RS002 was not just a one-off, it was the proof of concept for what Audi could have become, a rally team willing to sacrifice brand identity and tradition for performance. Imagine an alternate motorsport timeline where the RS002 competed head-to-head with Lancia's ECV, Peugeot's 405 T16, or Toyota's MR2-based Group S project. It would have been an incredible era of innovation, potentially safer, definitely faster, and far more unpredictable. But instead, the RS002 remains a relic, a machine designed for a rulebook that was shredded before it could be printed. It wasn't a PR stunt, it wasn't a toy, it was the ultimate expression of Audi sports vision at the tail end of rallying's most exciting decade. It never competed, never won, and never lost, but in the hearts of those who understand what it could have been, the RS002 remains one of the most intriguing and mysterious rally cars ever conceived. But at the end of the video, please let me know what you guys thought of the video and of this really cool rally car. I personally think this is a really cool story, and after this video I actually decided I wanted to do some research on the other Group S prototypes. I think all of them has to be interesting, so maybe I'll make some videos on stuff like Peugeot's 405 T16 or Toyota's MR2 based project that they wanted to build for Group S in the future. So let me know if that would be something you guys would enjoy, and if you guys did enjoy this video, please have a like and subscribe to the channel. And if you guys did like this video, you'll most probably enjoy most of my other stuff, so just go through my channel, see if there's something else to like. I'll check you guys in the next one. Cheers,